Hello, I'm very excited. We have Gazin 2017, Gazin Rocquencourt. The last vintage was 15. Anybody that watches my videos or comes into the stores had for sure of the 15 Gazin. And I'm very excited to try it. It's the first time that I'm trying it. And maybe Bruno, you can tell us how it's possible to make such a good wine and it shouldn't be so high priced.
Okay,
because
thank you, Moshe.
Compared to my other wines.
Okay, thank you for coming, and I know that you are a very good supporter of our wines in New York. As you said, we started with Gazin Rocquencourt kosher wines in 2015. It was a great vintage, in Bordeaux. A few words about Gazin Rocquencourt estates. These estates were sold by Bonnet family, were purchased by Bonnet family in 2006. We decided at that time to make the same way of vinification than the one we are making for Malartic-La Gravière. Then the team is the same.
You can see that the label is now looks the same like the
exactly same color. There is a real link, same owners of course, but same winemaker, same director of wine, same team, same consultants, and it's the same process. That's why maybe that's one answer to your question. Why this wine is so good? Because it's made the same way that it's done Malartic-La Gravière, the classified portion. Then Malartic is a very old estate located in Léognan, in the city, near the city center.
And we're here now.
Yeah, and it's one of the oldest terroirs, oldest estates in Léognan. Then we started the kosher Gazin Rocquencourt in 2015. Great vintage. The specificity of the Gazin Rocquencourt red is that it's a blend with 50% Cabernet Sauvignon and 50% Merlot. It's very easy to remember. It's a 50-50 blend. That's the specificity of what we do here in Léognan. Okay, of course the 2017 is just finished.
I didn't smell the wine. I'm very excited because Gazin was my favorite wine, price-wise, taste, balance, and I knew that it will connect with. I don't have customers, I have friends. I knew it will connect with my friends, and it did. And people were raving about it, and they came back and they bought cases. And whoever put it away, good for them. And they can always call me in 15 to 18, 20 years from now, and I'll come help them drink it.
Yeah, you pronounce the key word. The key word is balance. We are trying to make something well balanced between acidity, tannins of course, but also with alcohol.
Look at the color, how dark and beautiful it is.
You still have some purple colors because it's very young.
I'm teasing with myself because I didn't smell it yet. I'm excited. Wow, it's so interesting because it just came out of the barrel. If you wouldn't told me that you just bottled it, I would think it's ready to drink.
Yeah,
on the nose.
It's very fruity. That's why.
And it's interesting. I'm gonna let you explain it. I tasted the Malartic before, and the fruits are jumping out a little more than the old world style of
Malartic. Yeah, because this one the vines are younger.
How old are the vines?
When we purchased in 2006, we decided to replant nearly everything. We replanted 80% of the vineyards. Then we only kept 4 hectares out of 22. Then the vines are young. And then we are using less new oak on this for the aging, and that's why the fruits are getting, straight to the nose because the vines are younger, and the new oak is not as important as it is for the Malartic-La Gravière.
Usually, I see on a lot of young wines that I can't smell it. Sometimes it's like this has. It's a beautiful bouquet.
Nice nose, Yeah.
If I would have to explain it to you, and I can't paint, I suck at it, I would make like a bunch of colorful fruits and flowers. That's what the nose is.
Yeah,
it's
like
wow.
What fruit do you have? Black fruits, yeah?
I smell darker, and I can't say jam because it doesn't have the deep sweetness, but I do smell to be distinct. Let me try it again. I smell black currant, maybe?
Yeah,
black currant. Berries?
Blackberries, yeah.
Blackberries? So very dark red fruits.
That's what it is, yeah.
L'chaim. Wow. Amazing, the wine. It's still. How long until you plant a vine till it produces grapes to use?
Let's say we can have the first wine after 3 years, but it's a very weak production. Then we wait for another 2 years and then we start to produce.
Everything about wine is waiting.
Yeah.
You have to wait to drink, you have to wait to plant, you have to wait to with the right food. So I would, if you think of Malartic, think wait.
Exactly. That's a very long-term job. Yes, exactly.
Hold on, back off. There's time. I have some very exciting news that I didn't know. That was a surprise for me coming to the winery, and I'm gonna let Bruno introduce it. And I'll be drinking. So.
As I told you, when we purchased the estate, we replanted more than 80% of the vineyards, and in 2006 we didn't have any white grapes. Then we planted 2 hectares of white grapes, only Sauvignon Blanc, in 2007. The first vintage of the white Gazin Rocquencourt was done in 2010. And we decided to make, for the first time in 2018, a kosher Gazin Rocquencourt white wine.
The wine is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
It's fantastic. We tried it in the barrel.
It's a 100% Sauvignon Blanc. Okay. It's aged for nearly 1 year, 10 months exactly in French oak, on lees. And we do the same process than the one we are making for the Malartic La Gravière, or for the non-kosher Gazin. We are using more or less 40% new oak on this. And yes, it's a Sauvignon Blanc, perfect wine, very fresh wine, as you said. Yeah, we are very happy very proud of this wine.
Why does white wine go with fish?
Usually it goes with some other foods, but
chicken.
Yeah, usually you have the acidity of the white wine is higher than the red wine.
So it's like putting lemon?
Yeah, and of course, and the tannins are less important.
The tannins.
And that's why usually you can have it with saltfish, for instance, white fish. But you can use this kind of wine with cheese, of course.
Traditional, we eat every Friday night fish. So we have a new.
You get the wine.
We have a new sauce to pair with the fish. And I'm very excited for that alone to try this wine. It was worth for me to flying down to Bordeaux and meet you in person. Hopefully, we'll be able to get back you and your wife to the States.
Yes, definitely.
And do a dinner, try the wines together. And with you and a little bit of Bruno and his wife Veronica, we'll be able to change the kosher wine world.
Thank you very much.
L'chaim.